where legendary Assamese singer Zubeen Garg has tragically passed away in Singapore following a scuba diving accident. He was admitted to the ICU, but despite medical efforts, he could not be saved. Known as the Heart of Assam, Zubeen Garg's soulful voice and unforgettable songs touched millions across generations. He sang the famous Ya Ali song from the movie Gangster. Unfortunate incident that unfolded in Singapore during a scuba diving accident has claimed the life of the legendary Assamese singer Zubeen Garg, who tragically passed away during the scuba diving accident. He was taken to the ICU, but despite all medical efforts, he could not be saved. He has been the voice and the heart of Assam, and he has sung songs like Ya Ali from Gangster. My colleague Sakshi Litoria is joining me right now to get us more details. Sakshi, take us through what exactly happened in Singapore. What we're given to understand that Zubeen Garg, the singer, lost his life during a scuba diving accident.
Right, Samya, that is correct. Renowned Assamese singer Zubeen Garg, he tragically passed away following a scuba diving incident in Singapore. According to several reports and some of my sources, I've been given to understand that Zubeen was actually rescued initially by the sea, by the sea guards who were present there, and also by Singapore police. And then immediately he was taken and rushed to the hospital nearby. He was then admitted to the ICU where he unfortunately died. Doctors monitored his condition and provided the intensive care which was required for his condition. He started having some breathing issues while he was doing scuba diving. But despite the efforts that doctor had put, and of course the police had put by rescuing him, he tragically passed away to his injuries. Now, he had traveled to Singapore to participate in the Northeast Festival, which was slated to happen on September 20th and 21st. So it was a two-day event, and he was supposed to perform on the day of the incident. As of now, we don't have any official statement coming in from his team about the circumstances of the accident, what exactly transpired. But through the sources, it had been given to understand that he was there to perform for Northeast Festival for 2 days. And while he was doing scuba diving, he started having some breathing issues. He was taken out by police and also the Coast Guards, and then he was taken to the ICU in a nearby hospital. Doctors did try to put in some effort to save him, but unfortunately he lost his life. Back to you, Samya.
But Sakshi, take us through if there were enough safety net around scuba diving in Singapore. How did he face this eventuality? Because what we're given to understand that Singapore is one of those places that are safe when it comes to scuba diving, and this incident could only be a tragic one.
Absolutely, Samya. When you do scuba diving, so there is a protocol that you have to also follow. Considering Singapore being, one of the tourist-friendly nations, and you see, a majority of crowd going there for their vacations, people do opt for these water activities over there. Speaking of the protocol again, there is a protocol for scuba diving where you have to sign a form that also mentions if you have any, disease or ailment. If you possess any of those diseases, there are about 21 to 22 diseases which are usually listed out on that form that you register at before you opt for going to scuba diving, so that the divers are checking whether you are fit to be underwater in that water pressure or not. If you have any of those diseases, then you are not allowed to go there. So we don't have any information about Zubeen having any, prior health ailments. But as of now, what we've been given to understand is that he developed some breathing issues while he was doing scuba diving.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sakshi, for getting us all those details for our viewers over here and putting it into perspective how Zubeen Garg lost his life during a scuba diving event in Singapore. Once again, we see racial attacks on Indians abroad has claimed yet another young life. This time around, it is a 30-year-old techie from Telangana who was shot dead by police in California. But incident has sparked questions about how white supremacy and racial discrimination in US is taking place. What makes this case even murkier is a disturbing social media post he shared just days before alleging racial discrimination, harassment and corporate exploitation. In the post, Nizamuddin alleged racial hatred, racial discrimination, racial harassment, torture, wage fraud, wrongful termination and obstruction of justice. He wrote in the post, and I quote, "Today I decide to raise my voice against all odds. Enough is enough. White supremacy, racist white American mentality has to end. Oppression of corporate tyrants must end and everyone involved in it must be punished severely," unquote. He further alleged that his food was poisoned and was being evicted from his residence. 30-year-old Mohammed Nizamuddin, a software professional from Mehboob district, Telangana, was killed by police in Santa Clara on 3rd September. According to local police, what began as a quarrel with his roommate spiraled into a violent altercation. Police say Nizamuddin stabbed and pinned down his roommate. Officers claim they tried to de-escalate the situation, but when Nizamuddin's knife allegedly came down towards the victim, an officer fired 4 shots. He was rushed to the hospital but could not be saved. Now, of course, the family is trying to reach out to the government to bring back the mortal remains back home here in India. He said that the altercation with the roommate may have been over a petty issue like an AC setting, a young life lost in a foreign land under tragic and controversial circumstances. And now it begs some serious questions that still remains unanswered. Was it simply a roommate quarrel gone wrong, or was the tragic culmination of a deeper struggle with racism and harassment abroad?
On Wednesday morning, Santa Clara PD officers responded to a disturbance call on the north side of Santa Clara. The call resulted in one of our officers shooting an assailant who was actively attacking another person with a knife. Based on our preliminary investigation, we believe the officer's actions prevented further harm and clearly saved at least one life, and possibly others. While we are early in the ongoing investigation, I want to share with you the following facts as they are known at this time. On Wednesday morning at approximately 6:18 a.m., officers responded to a 911 call from a residence on the 1800 block of Eisenhower Drive involving a disturbance between 2 roommates. As officers were responding to the location, they received information that the situation had escalated and the suspect was now stabbing the victim. The first arriving officer ran to the front door and identified themselves. The officer could hear a loud commotion inside and decisively made a crisis entry into the residence by kicking open the locked front door. The officer quickly followed the sounds toward the hallway where the attack was taking place. The officer saw 4 people in the hallway, including the suspect who was straddling the victim, effectively pinning the victim to the ground.
मुझे आज इस बात की इत्तला मिली है कि मेरे बच्चे का शूट डेथ हुआ है, कैलिफोर्निया अमेरिका में हुआ है। मेरा बच्चा 2016 में पढ़ने के लिए गया था फ्लोरिडा कॉलेज, वहाँ उसकी पढ़ाई हुई। 2 साल के बाद फिर वहाँ सोच कंपनी में काम करा। सोच कंपनी के बाद फिर कैलिफोर्निया चले गया प्रमोशन पे। कैलिफोर्निया में शूट डेथ हुआ है। मैं वज़ीर ख़ारजा गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया जयशंकर साहब से अपील करता हूं कि वो जल्द से जल्द मेरे बच्चे की डेड बॉडी को महबूबनगर वापस भेज दिया जाए।
Rahul Gandhi is upping the ante with his Vote-Chori campaign, describing it as a fight to protect democracy. Now, despite the Election Commission rejecting his claims of a voter deletion in Karnataka, the leader of the opposition says that he stands by his allegations. And now, he's making it personal with India's youth. Posting on platform X, Rahul Gandhi wrote, and I quote, "The nation's youth, the nation's students, the nation's Gen Z will defend the constitution, protect democracy and stop vote theft. I always will stand with them." Unquote. Now, that earlier declaration of voter deletion has sparked a storm as well, with the Election Commission calling his claims of voter deletion incorrect and baseless. But the Congress leader earlier shared what he called is proof of votes being systematically deleted in Karnataka and elsewhere, while adding that the Election Commission is aiding vote tampering. He said, and I quote, "I'm going to show the youth, the people, proof that is black and white, absolutely clear, that the Election Commissioner of India is protecting people who have been destroying Indian democracy. I will also show you the methods which are being used to add, delete the votes and how it is done." Unquote. But even as the Karnataka Chief Electoral Officer responded to Congress MP's claims of vote fraud in Aland constituency, stating that the poll body had already rejected all incorrect applications and an FIR was filed in the matter in 2023, the larger question is, what exactly is Rahul Gandhi signaling at? Why is he turning to Gen Z, India's youngest and most restless demographic, as the defenders of democracy? And what are the implications if they do mobilize? Because we've seen examples from Bangladesh street protests that toppled a government to Nepal's massive Gen Z-led demonstrations against social media bans to Sri Lanka's youth storming the presidential palace amid an economic collapse. Now, could Rahul Gandhi's words push India's youth in a similar direction? Or is this simply political messaging aimed at energizing the next generation of voters? What does Rahul Gandhi's Gen Z card now mean for the Indian politics? Well, we will have to wait and find that out. But the BJP is hitting at the Congress, specifically Rahul Gandhi, asking him to stop insulting the democratic choice of voters where they have made in the country. BJP says that this is an attempt to destabilize the country. Maharashtra Chief Minister and BJP leader Devendra Fadnavis said that Rahul Gandhi has proved that he speaks the language of an urban Naxal.
देखिए, मैंने पहले ये कहा है कि वोट चोरी का मामला नहीं है। राहुल गांधी जी का दिमाग चोरी हो गया है, और जब दिमाग चोरी हो जाता है तो इसी प्रकार की बातें लोग कहते हैं। मैंने पहले भी कहा था कि इनको देश के संविधान के प्रति कोई आस्था नहीं है। देश के संविधान ने तैयार की हुई सारी व्यवस्थाओं को नकारते। अब तो उन्होंने अपने अर्बन माओइस्ट होने का सबूत ही दे दिया। अर्बन माओइस्टों वाली भाषा वो कर रहे हैं कि जेन ज़ी ने आकर संवैधानिक सरकार को उलट देना चाहिए। इस प्रकार की बात जब कोई करता है तो इससे अलग बात अर्बन माओइस्ट क्या करते हैं? उनके सारे जो लोग एडवाइस देते हैं, सारे एडवाइजर उनके अर्बन माओइस्ट इस प्रकार की विचारधारा के हैं।
Now, senior BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad condemned Rahul Gandhi's Gen Z remarks strongly, saying that he is trying to weaken democracy by inciting violence and bring in anarchy in the country. This was in reference to an earlier post by Rahul Gandhi in which the leader of the opposition said that the nation's youth, the nation's students, the nation's Gen Z will defend the constitution, protect democracy and stop vote theft, and that he is always standing with them. BJP here says that because the Congress party does not get votes, it's now trying to come in power through these means.
राहुल गांधी ने कल शाम 7:05 में एक ट्वीट किया है। देश के युवा, देश के स्टूडेंट, देश के जनरेशन जे संविधान को बचाएंगे, लोकतंत्र की रक्षा करेंगे और वोट चोरी को रोकेंगे। I repeat, Rahul Gandhi put up a post on the social media at 7:05 in the evening. The youth of the country, the students of the country and Gen J will safeguard the constitution and democracy and stop the stealing of the votes. क्या कहना चाहते हैं राहुल गांधी? आप कहना क्या चाहते हैं? कि एक जनजे के नाम पर देश में आप अराजकता फैलाना चाहते हैं? ये बहुत गंभीर सवाल है और ये पूरा ट्वीट किया गया और उनका इकोसिस्टम ने जनजे के नाम से ट्वीट करना शुरू किया। ये बहुत गंभीर विषय है। राहुल गांधी जानबूझकर लोकतंत्र को कमजोर कर रहे हैं, देश में अराजकता फैलाना चाहते हैं और हिंसा अराजकता को उकसा रहे हैं।
Any other institution, or he cannot shift the focus to something else. And whatever the narratives Pakistan creates, same narrative is propounded by Rahul Gandhi and his company here in India. So we have realized in last so many years, whatever Rahul Gandhi and his left group speaks about and tries to create a narrative in India, same thing is found to be used by the anti-Indian groups and the elements in Pakistan. So that similarity we have found over the years.
And now moving on, we are shifting our focus to some other stories that we are tracking, is where after India's successful Operation Sindoor that demolished major terror hubs in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, Pakistan-backed groups are now changing tactics. According to MOD sources, the latest intelligence reveals that Jaish-e-Mohammed and Hizbul Mujahideen are shifting bases deeper into Pakistan, into Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. At least 9 terror hideouts in POK were destroyed in Indian strikes, and now, in a desperate move, Jaish and Hizbul are relocating camps to KPK with the direct support of Pakistan's security establishment. On 14 September, Jaish held a rally in Mansehra Garhi Habibullah, disguised as a religious gathering. In reality, it was aimed at recruiting new cadre. Jamaat Ulema-e-Islam also backed the rally. Top Jaish commander Masood Ilyas Kashmiri, alias Abu Muhammad, addressed the youth hailing Osama bin Laden as a martyr of Islam. He even claimed that the death of Masood Azhar's family in Bahawalpur has made the Pakistani army and government partners in jihad. Intelligence inputs suggest Jaish is reviving its old Markaz Shohada-e-Islam camp in Mansehra, training fresh recruits under a new cover named Al-Murabitun to evade sanctions. Experts warn that this shift could pose a fresh threat to India, and terror outfits are likely to use the POK as a forward base while turning KPK into a rare command zone. Exploiting its proximity to Afghanistan and its existing jihadist network from POK to KPK, Pakistan's terror machinery is regrouping, but India remains prepared to destroy it again. Moving on, Indian Overseas Congress Chief Sam Pitroda has said that he felt at home when he visited Pakistan. In an interview to IANS, he said, and I quote, "Our foreign policy, according to me, must first focus on our neighborhood. Can we really substantially improve relationships with our neighbors? I've been to Pakistan and I must tell you, I felt at home. I've been to Bangladesh, I've been to Nepal, and I feel at home. I don't feel like I'm in a foreign country," unquote.
I've been to Pakistan, and I must tell you, I felt at home. I've been to Bangladesh, I've been to Nepal, and I feel at home.
क्या कभी कोई देशभक्त व्यक्ति ये कह सकता है कि आतंकी मुल्क पाकिस्तान उसके लिए घर जैसा है, पर इस बात को राहुल गांधी के करीबी, जो राहुल गांधी और कांग्रेस पार्टी की पूरी स्ट्रैटेजी निर्धारित करते हैं, जिनका रिश्ता गांधी वाड्रा परिवार से पिछले 30 सालों का है, मतलब वो जो कहते हैं वो राहुल गांधी और सोनिया गांधी कहती हैं, और ये कहते हैं कि आतंकी मुल्क पाकिस्तान इनके लिए घर जैसा है। कांग्रेस पार्टी के शीर्ष नेतृत्व ये कह रहा है और सैम पिट्रोडा से ये कहलवा रहा है कि आतंकी मुल्क पाकिस्तान इनके लिए घर जैसा है।